Welcome to the Picks from the Yard podcast. I'm your host, Wayne Salvatore. Just a humble caddy trying to scratch out winners every week for you guys, along with my friends, family, even acquaintances are welcome as long as they provide winners. Now that they've gone and legalized gambling here in Jersey, we're going to provide you with the hot selections every week. Picks from the Yard, NFL Week 7. We're back. I am having a struggle this year, but we got to. The show must go on, as they say. We have a new challenger in this week, so hopefully it can spark a little luck for me. And Clegg's Corner is returning, one of the few successful segments we've been having this season. As for those of you that have been listening, it has not gone well. I literally on Sunday I felt like I went through the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance to yesterday, as I was informed I still had to come on the air today. I'd like to welcome back my brother, my co-host, Richard the Math Whisperer Salvatore.
It's good to be back. It's been a struggle. Someone who listens said she doesn't like hearing too much lamenting. So we're going to try to keep the lamenting to a bare minimum. No bemoaning, no rueing. We turn the page on to the next week.
I mean, I guess this is Meg you were talking to?
It wasn't. It's actually Thaisa was saying that. She said she doesn't like hearing the lamenting.
She's a big Jacksonville fan.
Yeah,
she's
she is, right.
High horse now. Jim Dodge returns, #1 Eagles fan.
That's right, and red hot. Last time I was on 2-1. So for me, that's a landslide right there. So get ready for some winners.
He's coming back strong from his dicey beginnings, and introducing an old friend of ours, Tom Moloney, a former bartender from town. This is a guy, every time you'd go into the bar and I'd see him every time, what do you got going on? And there was always action going on. It was great. I'd always have somebody to talk to about. We'd be, crying over some obscure football game that nobody else is paying attention to.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that this week before coming in here. I remember it's just every time you'd walk in, we'd have the same pick. We'd be dying over it not working out. I had a couple of national championships in a row. I think we were dying on the same team. It was just brutal.
Yeah, every year. You co-host actually a Binge Sportscast. Am I?
Yes, the Binge Sportscast on BingeMedia.net.
Nice. We got to check that out. And how are you doing so far on your picks with that this year? I should say I've had a brutal season.
I believe after going 3-0 last week on my show, I'm 1 game over 500.
Wow.
Yet my co-host, who does not place a penny on any wagers,
definitely winning,
is about, I don't know, 11, so 6 weeks, so he's 13-5 or something.
Wow. Those guys that always win.
Always, right?
I'm going to follow him, definitely.
Yeah. Adam Wade came in here. He'd never, ever gambled. I don't know if he's been in a football pool in his life and cleaned up 3-0, no problem. It's amazing. I don't know what it is. You have to put your money down. Maybe it changes your... Well, we went 5-7 last week, which seems to be our standard here. Just sniffing 500 every week. So hopefully we can turn that around. I went 1-2. My one win was on Detroit, thanks to a flop at the end of the game. The Green Bay was about to go in and score, but they decided to kick the field goal with no time left. It salvaged my week. I lost on Florida by half a point, and the Jets managed to win, so I didn't mind losing that one. Richard went 2-1. He had winners on Houston and Pittsburgh, and then his college game, he could have gone 3-0. If you were watching it, for those people out there, it was Thursday night, I think. Bad penalty, 4th and 1.
They could have covered, and they also had a pass interference, but I watched most of that game, and to the listeners who watched that game, I want to apologize. That was horrible football. It was horrible. So and the worst thing is, you figure, all right, I'm watching a terrible game, but at least I'm going to cash a bet. And it looked good until that last drive. They called 2 defensive timeouts on 4th and 1, and then the guy jumps off sides. Are you kidding me? But that's what happens when I think you bet on these smaller programs. You know, it's a little bit chaotic. It was a tough loss.
I was working, and it was actually such a bad game that I was actually talking to my regulars instead of staring at the TV, which usually is not my preferred.
One good thing, though, we got Sinbad back into the conversation.
Yeah,
we brought Sinbad up, which that's a good thing.
Always brings a smile on my face. Willie, 1-2 for Bill Lesko. He won on New Orleans and losers on Atlanta, maybe the worst team in the league, and Tennessee. I don't even know if they scored. I can't remember. Another terrible game. Nick 1-2, back to reality. He won on New England. His one win was barely covered by New England. It was a miracle cover for all you Giants fans out there that watched it. Played him tough. And a loser on his Eagles and a loser on the Rams. A parlay, loser, 0-6. We're going to hit one. Don't worry. I mean, you want to say it can't get worse. I'm going to say that, but I guess mathematically it's possible. But I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't fear anything, anyone, anymore. I'm a freak. Don't dress like you.
So big situation developing of these backup quarterbacks who are being quite successful, and I don't know what these teams are going to do when the starters are healthy again. I think Carolina definitely. Cam Newton's probably done on the Panthers, I guess.
I mean, I don't know, because you're right. You have Cam Newton, who is MVP quarterback, and even last year was good until he got hurt, but now he's hurt. What is it? His toe, but his shoulder's kind of banged up. And this guy Kyle Allen has come in, and what have they won? 4 games in a row.
He keeps winning.
They look good, so I don't know what you do. Do you when Newton's healthy? Do you bring him back? Or?
I think Cam doesn't want to play anymore. I think he wants to be on the Travel Channel or some fashion show. I think this is all a ruse. He's going to act like he's hurt, like he wants to get back in it, but I think he has other goals.
I feel like he's definitely lost that edge a little bit that he used to have. I feel like he's sort of not necessarily playing scared, but he's not playing as hard as he used to.
Well, I'll tell you what, he would get beat up more than any other quarterback too because of his size, and people would take shots at him. And he would hardly ever get the flags. He should have gotten way more flags. And I'm being a little bit facetious, obviously, with his affinity for dressing up. But I'm telling you the truth that if I was a Carolina fan, I would go with a hot hand. I would just keep this guy in there and let Cam get completely healthy.
Right. And there's a quote by the coach. The coach basically told them, "Don't put any pressure. There's no pressure for you to come back," which I think is his way of saying, take your time. We're fine. We're all right.
Just put him on IR. Put him on IR. He hasn't recovered from the Super Bowl loss.
It's been psychologically damaged from that loss. And Minshew madness is still spreading. Everybody loves this guy, myself included.
Everyone, what did you call him? NFL quarterback and time traveler from the 70s,
yes,
I believe.
He's come back.
He's selling jerseys. They love him down there.
I think he's bringing jorts back. Jean shorts single-handedly are going to be back in fashion.
I don't even know if they ever went away. I don't know.
I'm attempting to grow a mustache myself. I've been inspired. We have Movember coming up. I'm getting a head start. I don't know what to do when Foles is healthy again. What that's a tough call.
Well, I've never seen a team go from turmoil like Ramsey's complaining about, and they just traded him, and everyone's like, Jacksonville's on the, they're going down, Foles is out, and all of a sudden
they're playing great.
They're like everybody loves them. And like you said, playing great. So
played tough last week against the Saints. I guess you got to stick with the backups.
They're in every game, and I think the fans love him. He's a Southern guy. He's a down to earth guy. What's that story? He drives a used Acura. He hasn't upgraded his car. He's they say he's frugal. And
just the man of the people. I love it.
Exactly. I think they're going to stick with him, and they should try. They're paying Foles a lot of money, so when Foles gets healthy, they should probably look to trade him. There's probably someone looking for a quarterback. They got to get. They can't keep him on the bench.
Wentz will probably get injured, and then we can just bring him back to Philly and get our second Super Bowl.
There you go.
That is perfection right there.
And baseball marches on. Our guru told us the Nationals were going to be in the World Series.
Yeah, our baseball guru preseason predicted the Nats, and this was one of the most annoying human beings I know when he's not making a great prediction. So he's been up in his game with the text about how great he is.
We were mocking him all season.
Who are we talking about? Rick Collins.
Rick Collins.
Right.
Well, I used to put baseball guru in air quotes when I talked to him, but now if this comes through, I actually have to give him respect.
I thought for sure the American League was going to have it locked up, but I don't know, man. Actually, them sweeping maybe cool them off a little, but they finally got over that hump of winning a series, and I think they're cooking right now. I think the break's going to hurt them now. Yeah, they can't. It stinks because the other series, we're hoping as New York fans is going to go at least 6 games at this point.
As bartenders, you want it to go 6-7 games.
But they're gonna.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity. I'm going to bet the AL, and I kind of hope the AL goes 6 or 7 games because I do think the time off. They'll have a week off because I think the series starts next Tuesday. And I do think everyone's all about Washington, but give them about a week off. And the AL is just a better league, in my opinion. So I hope it helps the AL will probably still be favored, but without a doubt. But I would say I still think the AL is a good bet. But I agree, Washington winning that series finally. They look like a different team now.
Oh, yeah.
And another big story is a stadium being built in L.A., but none of the fans, they don't have any fans to sit. The two games played this week had more fans. There were more Steelers fans in attendance and more
49er
fans at both of these games. It was unbelievable. And they're spending all this money on the stadium. I think they don't care about football, I guess. I mean, I lived out there for a while. It's definitely a basketball city, but, like, come on, guys. I mean, you got two teams now. You got to go out and support the teams. I don't know.
The Rams are a good team. I mean, they're struggling a bit, but they're a good team. They were in the Super Bowl last year, but they don't draw. And the Chargers have always been a bad draw. They've never done well.
Competitive team. I mean, they're a little off this year, but you got the team that made the Super Bowl last year, and these people aren't going to the games this year. It's
insane.
It's nuts.
It's insane.
All right, without further ado, let's get this party started. I'm gonna start. Sorry, Giants fans. I'm gonna mushy Jinxie's on board this week. I'm taking the Giants -3. They played the Patriots. The final score did not represent. They played them real tough. I think you got Arizona coming to town. Arizona's won 2 games in a row. They're not winning 3 in a row. It's an early start, 1 o'clock. And the Giants, they had a longer rest. They played on Thursday, so I love them this week, laying just 3 points to a mediocre Arizona squad.
Yeah, Arizona beat 2 bad teams, and the Giants come off 2 losses to good teams. So I could see. I don't see Arizona continuing their success. And plus, I have that under season wins for them, so I kind of need them to lose a couple of games here and there. But I like this pick. I do. For my first pick, I'm sticking with college. I am sticking with my college picks. The thing is, the college picks have been okay. They just, bad beat
win.
here. They haven't won, but overall, they haven't won.
The picks are fine.
They've been fine. I've looked at my record because when you're struggling, sometimes you got to look back in what you're doing and try to. Okay, that explains a lot. But I did, and I'm 1 game under 500 in college, 1 game under in the NFL, so I'm equally below average in both. I'm sticking with college. I'm taking Duke +3.5. You have a program that in the last 4 years, they're 16-6-1 as an underdog. That coach does a great job when they're a dog. They're playing a conference foe, Virginia.
Virginia
at Virginia
looked terrible last year. I watched that game. That quarterback, I don't know what he's running around holding the ball. I like this pick based on what I saw from Virginia.
Yeah, they started off okay this year, but they look shaky now. And Duke is just a classic good underdog team. So I say take Duke in the points.
All right. I'm going to jump right into it, take the Thursday night game, and I'm going to take KC -3 at Denver. KC's been struggling a little bit, but I think they've had Denver's number the last few years, 5 straight wins as far back as DraftKings will show me. So, but Denver really, who'd they beat? They beat the Chargers and the Titans, 2 of the biggest disappointments in the league this year. So I look for Mahomes to bounce back. He's got Tyreek Hill, who just made a phenomenal catch last week. He's ready to go, and they'll cover the 3 on the road.
I like the small line on Kansas City. I love it. 3 points should not be a problem for them.
Opened at 4.
Wow.
So it's already down a point. So I like
Denver
because they shut out the Titans. Whoopee. We could shut out the Titans.
All right. Sometimes you got to do something you don't like to do, and I have to take the Raiders +5.5.
I thought you were talking about your bartending career.
Could refer to a lot of things. John Gruden, to me, was always more of a celebrity than a coach. And when he signed that 10-year deal, I was like, this is the worst 10-year
I thought he was overrated.
Deal.
He's coaching him up this year.
Yeah, I mean, before Bryce Harper, it was the worst 10-year deal. But they had hard knocks and everything. But I'm not saying they're good, but they got embarrassed early by the Vikings. And since then, I mean, they've turned it around. And if you look the last 2 weeks, they had the bye last week, which you always like, with time to prepare. They beat an Indianapolis team and a Bears team that were decent. So with 5.5, and I think the Packers are the worst 5-1 team out there. They got that gift on Monday against Detroit. They lost to Philly. They beat an overrated Cowboy team, but I just think that they can hang in there and get a backdoor cover. And I like I said, maybe it's fool's gold, but I'm going to take the Raiders with 5.5.
I'm jumping on this because the Raiders have cost me too much money this year playing against them. So if you can't beat them, join them. I'm with you, Dachi. I'm taking your Eagles this week, pal.
Good choice. I agree. Every week I'll say that.
They're getting
great selection.
They did not look so hot last week. I'm not sure what happened there, but hopefully they'll have a bounce back. They're playing the Cowboys. They're getting 3 at Jerry World, and the Cowboys are in a tailspin. And Amari Cooper got hurt. We're not sure at the time we're recording this whether or not he's going to play. But even if he does play, he's a little dinged up. And without him on the field, they just look terrible. The Jets. Put it this way: you lost to the Jets.
And also,
need I say more?
Our defensive backfield is our Achilles heel for if they don't have to worry about Amari. He could smoke that.
Yeah,
our corners and safeties. So I'm hoping he doesn't play.
I really think Dallas is just collapsing. I'm shocked. I thought they obviously they played some weak teams, but they looked great, dynamite at the beginning of the year. So I'm taking the Eagles +3.
I like that pick. They were good the first 3 weeks against bad teams, and now they've lost their last 3 games. And that Cooper, keep an eye on the Cooper injury because it'll probably move the spread if he's out. And I think him being out is a big deal. I really do. And even if he's dinged up, that I think that'll affect the game. All right, for my second pick, I'm going to the big Monday night game. The Jets are playing the Patriots. And I'm taking the Jets. Jets.
I love it.
Right? They're getting 9.5 points. It actually went down from 10, so there's money coming in on the Jets. And I think they're a different team with Darnold as quarterback.
Inspired.
The defense inspired.
Football.
Gaze actually has a good record. Some coaches Belichick owns. Gaze is not one of them. Gaze has coached well against Belichick, and he's beaten them last year and the year before.
I should share with the audience we have our guest this week is a big Dolphins fan, so he might have a thing or two to say
All right, so
about
Gaze was okay.
I thought I signed a contract that wouldn't be brought up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I tried to keep it a secret as long as I could.
Chomping over there.
But he plays. He's been competitive against the Patriots, and I think the Golden Boy didn't look so hot against the mighty, putting quotes up, Giants defense.
He didn't. He looked shaky, especially early on. He was missing easy throws. He doesn't. He looks a little off. And Gaze is smart. He kind of is nice to Belichick. He's the anti-Rex Shrine. He's not like, oh, they're overrated, I'm going to kill him. He's basically playing nice with Belichick. And I think he does a good job against the Pats, and the D coordinator's doing a good job. So I think they're going to play inspired football, and I love Monday night home dog, take the Jets.
Love it.
Real quick, though, New England was the Thursday night game to the Monday night game, so Brady's got a lot of extra time in his tank or whatever it is he lays in to get his body ready. So
they
have the extra time. They'll be well rested.
Yeah.
They will, but I still like the 9.5. And New England hasn't been beaten up on teams. They didn't cover against Buffalo. They didn't cover against the Jets. Even the Giant game, they barely covered. So I don't think there is a lock as like crushing teams like they've been in the past.
All right, pick number 2, a team I've been riding for the last few weeks, and I'm going to stay on them. We got the underdog again, New Orleans Saints.
It's nuts.
Vegas has got a vendetta versus Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't
know why.
100%.
His numbers, his spread numbers of his career, this guy wins all the time.
They're treating the Saints like their next man up was an actual true NFL backup. He's not. He was a successful starter for a year before a bad injury, and you could tell each week he's improving more and more each week. I said it on my show. This team is not losing. They are handing Breeze back the keys with all wins. It's a wide-open NFC for the Saints to just take over because the rest of the teams I'm just not impressed with. Saints have always dominated the Bears in recent history. They've already beaten good teams without Breeze. Vegas tried to trick us last week.
I've been laying off because the line seems fishy, but
They've been fishy. I've stayed away the last 2 weeks, but they
winning.
keep winning. And the people who are just looking at it and like, wow, I love the Saints. They're crushing it. So
similar matchup this week. Another tough defensive team, and they're a 3-point dog. So keep it low, take the under, but I'm taking Saints +3.
All right, for all you tailgaters for the 1 o'clock game or go out to brunch at 9 a.m. and you're going to need a nap at 4, Take the under for this Titans-Chargers game. It's going to be some human Ambien watching these. This is diehards only. The Titans are unwatchable. The last 4 games, if you take out the 24 against the Falcons, they've scored 7, 7, and 0 points.
Wow, exciting.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
great brand of football. And the funny thing is their defense is not that bad and kept them really in the game last week
They're
against the
benching
Broncos.
Mariota, too, this week.
Yeah, but I think Tannehill for Mariota is negligible. And
Tommy, your boy Tannehill.
Yeah, another ex-Dolphin at the round. What could go wrong? But I don't know. I just think that 40 points, I mean, I can't see that. I can't see them even getting close to that number. So
Dodge hates betting unders.
I'm looking at Dodge's board. He's got an underdog and he's got an under. He's got all these
I'm a
notes.
changed man.
What the
I'm
hell's
red
going
hot.
on here? Oh my God!
He's got notes.
He's
There's note
I got
cards.
notes.
Look, he's got
I
note card.
I'm doing bits over here. No, I got notes, and these are all. I got 3-0, 3 cards, 3-0. So jump on board with this one. It's all turning around.
How do you
like
explain
it.
the Titans' destruction of the Browns week 1? We all fell for it and said
Yes.
the Titans were going to be really good. And what we really were supposed to learn from that game was how
Yeah, how
terrible the
crap.
Browns are. Yeah.
Exactly.
Baker.
That-
Totally
What
faked
a
this out.
punk. All right, I'm riding Minshew Mania with my half a mustache grown in here. I'm on board, buddy. They're only laying 3.5 at Cincinnati. This is like the classic fishy line, but I give up trying to sniff these games out. Cincinnati is one of the worst teams in the league. I'm not sure why Jacksonville's only laying 3.5, but with Jacksonville's D, Cincinnati might not score. I love this game. Maybe it's the sucker bet on the card because it looks so obvious, but I don't care anymore. Captain Obvious, Jacksonville minus 3.5.
All right, for my third game, I'm going to take an under. I'm taking the under in the Houston-Indianapolis game, under 47. So this is, now a big division game. It looks like these two teams are probably the class of the AFC South. Houston's gone nuts the last couple of weeks scoring, but they played against Atlanta and Kansas City, two teams that don't have a good defense. Indy has a good defense. These teams know each other really well. They played 3 times last year, including a playoff game that went under, and one of the regular season's games went under. I see a battle. I see a tight game. I say take under 47.
All right. For my third pick,
The Dolphins?
I actually did that last week and I survived with the back door. So no, we're gonna no. It's a Bills household this Sunday.
Oh, he lives in
unfortunately.
his lovely wife is a Bills fan. He's a Dolphins fan. There's a lot of tense, maybe not this year, but in years past.
Yeah, she thinks our 3-week-old son's fandom is on the line this Sunday, but I'm having no part of that. This is no Fitz Magic team is
This
going to
kid's gonna have
represent
a
my kid's
tough
decision.
in 4 years. Is a very tough when he understands what's going on.
For real. All right, so we're going to go out west, 4:30 game. We're going to ride the potential MVP of the league, and we're going to take Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks over the Ravens. I thought a lot about this game when it was 3.5. The line has moved to 3. I will take that half point. Lamar Jackson's been really good fantasy-wise, but Baltimore, I can't shake their loss to the Browns. There's something at home. There's something about that game that really troubles me. And if nothing else, there's a blueprint there somewhere in that game. And we're talking about Russell Wilson, Mr. Comeback, Mr.
MVP.
Second half, Mr. MVP.
They're insane. They keep winning. I mean, the guy is just, he's amazing. He's great. He's great to watch, too.
I think you see a lot of good quarterback play. This is going to look like a college game. And I just like the home team. They got the 12th man. I can't stand the 12th man, but it's beneficial, and I think it's going to shake Lamar. And it's a young team on the other side. They're not ready. This is a Seattle victory.
All right, if you know anything about our host, Wayne Salvatore, he loves the term classic trap game. And he'll tell you this, if you bet a 1 o'clock at 3:55, you're losing. He'll tell you that you fell into a trap game. He'll never tell you at noon that it's a classic trap game. And here it is. It's San Fran minus 10
Come on.
at the Skins. They're flying. I know the West Coast team coming. There's so many things telling you not to
chump
do it.
in the country is going to be on San
Now
Francisco.
listen, the Redskins are terrible. They've lost almost every game by more than 10. I know they're building some momentum off their big win on Sunday, but it's going to be
Please.
Dominant.
a thrashing at the hands of the 49ers. They are the hot team, and I'm going to ride them until
Classic letdown spot. The Niners squeak one out here.
the Niners by at least 10 people.
I'm calling this one before 1 o'clock as a trap game, buddy.
The trap game.
Yes.
All right. Who will you believe? The
Maybe.
guy who's you've never been right on that except at 3:55. So
We may
now
have
you're on the record.
We may have
You're
to leave
on
this
the
out of.
record right
I'm going to
now.
do this super parlay -1 pick this week. All right, the Moneyline Underdog Parlay. We got a big one this week. I'm leaving my picks out, so I think it actually has a pretty good chance. I'm going to take 2 of Richard's picks, and I want to start by taking Tommy's pick of a New Orleans Saints as a dog. Love it. Richard's college game, Duke. I think Virginia stinks. I see them easily winning that game. And just to juice it and give us a little excitement on Monday, we're throwing the Jets in to unseat the undefeated Patriots. I see this. I was watching that game against the Giants. I'm telling you, I have been saying it for 10 years now, but I might be right that the Golden Boy is slipping.
The unbridled enthusiasm of you two
The
is
Golden
unbelievable
Boy
for
is
this.
slipping. I saw him holding on
way.
to the ball, stripped sack fumble. I mean, well, this guy is.
He's eating avocado ice cream, sleeping in that chamber, an extra day in the chamber. He's going to
That's it.
come out and win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Oh,
But
the Jets D is going to give him fits.
I
It's
can't
going
rain
to
on
be
your happiness. That's the
awesome.
problem.
It's going to be a great watch Monday night, people. And when this hits, it will pay a juicy 24-1. Get involved. Go Jets. JETS.
I found someone who wants me, despite what you say.
Clegg's Corner. I used to, a little bit of honesty here. I used to kind of like reluctantly introduce this segment, but now you're the champion of the show every week. I'm psyched to hear it. It's the only thing keeping my account semi-positive every week. Soccer.
You know what's really beautiful is I wasn't on last week, but 2 weeks ago I had 3 picks. I went 1 and 2, but still in the plus because the one that won was plus 265.
Everything
Covers
was
the other 2
covered.
bets.
Yeah, that was the early one, I think. We were playing
Yeah.
with house money. It was
I know.
awesome.
It's amazing.
So far, Will, so good. Let's keep it going.
All right, we're going to do the same thing again this time. We're going to bet a draw in the Premier League because that just seems to be the moneymaker. And we're going to go with Aston Villa and Burnley to draw at plus 240.
Nice.
So then we're going to move over. That's Saturday, 10 a.m. Then we're going to move over to the German League. I'm going to keep going with Borussia Dortmund. It seems like when I've bet them and they're at home, they tend to do pretty well, which they are this week. They're minus 225, so you're laying a lot, but they're going to come through for us.
That game's also Saturday?
Saturday, 12:30. Yep. And then we're going to go to Sunday, early risers, 6:30 a.m. here on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, I guess you could just stay up late and watch it. Italian League, and we're going to go with Inter Milan to win, minus 143.
Inter Milan at 6:30 Sunday morning. I mean, I guess maybe if you stay up all night, maybe if you have a wild Saturday night.
Catch it on the way in.
Yeah, catch it on the way back
Put you
home.
right to sleep.
That's great, though. It's going to be wrapped up before the games kick off on Sunday, so we'll have a little extra money in our accounts to spread out on the NFL. What is this paying, Will?
So if you do the parlay, which I'm only doing like a half a unit on the parlay now, and I'm betting each game individually because that's going much better, but the parlay is 7.5 to 1.
Nice. And definitely, hopefully the draw coming first, so keep that luck going, and we'll be playing with house money again.
Exactly.
Clegg's Corner, people. Soccer. It's the only profitable endeavor so far this year. Get involved.
And I don't fear anything, anyone, anyone. I'm a freak. Don't dress like you, act like you want me to. I'm a freak.
Quick recap so you guys can jot down these winners. I'm taking the Giants -3, the Eagles +3, and the Jacksonville Jaguars a -3.5. Richard's rolling with Duke +3.5, the Jets +9.5, and an under 47 in the Houston Indy game. Tom Moloney, Kansas City -3 on Thursday. New Orleans Saints +3 and Seattle -3. And Jim Dodge has got Oakland +5.5. He's got an under this week. The Chargers and Tennessee is under 39.5. And San Francisco, big trap game, -9.5. The money line underdog parlay is New Orleans, Duke, and the Jets pays nice 24-1. Clegg's Corner, we have Aston Villa Burnley draw. Borussia Dortmund, to win, and Inter Milan to win, and that pays a nice 7.5 to 1. And all 12 when it's this super duper 12-team parlay, you punch all these in with the spreads into the DraftKings app, and it pays a sweet 2,440 to 1. Awesome. Dollar and a dream. That's all we need here.
Love it.
That's all we need. Do we have anything we want to plug this week, guys?
Yeah, I'm going to plug the Hoboken restaurant Court Street. Great place, a nice dining room, but also a good place to go to the bar and watch football. Tom used to work there, and we would go there and watch football. You also might see a local celebrity, Adam Wade, occasionally will show up. So a Hoboken celebrity sighting, but great food. Great place to go.
One of the best spots in Hoboken. The food's fantastic. They've got a great menu, and it's like a good sneaky spot to watch a game because I really personally get annoyed with sports bars. They got great coverage there, and the service is,
It used to be better.
Used to be better when Moloney was behind the stick, but it's not.
And if you have prime rib night too, Monday night, so you can have a big fat steak
great.
and watch the game.
Go watch.
Love it.
You know what? You'll go buy prime rib for the whole bar when the Jets come in on Monday night. Don't worry. Come on by.
I'm going to quickly plug my own podcast. It's called the Binge Sportscast on bingemedia.net. Myself and my co-host, PJ from Detroit, Michigan. We record Sunday nights. It drops Tuesday mornings. So what we do is recap the Sunday action. We take some voicemails from people. We got some regular callers that call in from the network.
I'm definitely calling in. I'm calling in. This guy must be a huge. Is he all hopped up on the Lions? Is he a big?
No,
he's
a little
not?
more. I'm the obnoxious one on the show. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to call in. Maybe talk about the Dolphins a little bit.
Please do. And then just a quick plug to my 3-week-old son Aiden and my wife Carrie, who's at home taking care of him, and so I can be here and hang out with you guys.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, thanks, Carrie,
Thank
for letting
you,
him
guys.
get a little break from the baby, and good luck to that
Yes,
kid picking between the Bills and the Dolphins.
Lose, man. Lose.
It's a coin flip. I'm going to plug, I have a show this Saturday night, 8 o'clock at one of my favorite places, the Hoboken Elks.
Oh, another great spot.
Round a bunch of guys with no sunlight, angry dudes in a basement drinking $3 buds. They make it work for the laughs. They're not just going to give it up to you. So it's for a great cause, the Hoboken Ambulance Corps, which I swear they must be so busy with these Lime scooters. I think it's one of the great conspiracy. I think there's so many injured people out there because of these mopeds that they're not saying anything about.
Sending that ambulance
Absolutely.
out.
I moved out. I couldn't take 2 weeks of them. I said, we're gone to the suburbs.
Yeah.
You had enough.
I want to see the upswing in broken ankles and wrists because of this program. So these are the guys that come help you. So come out to the Elks, 8 o'clock. Come heckle me. Do whatever you want. I blend in there. I'm angry. I don't like sunlight, so it'll be a perfect show. Come on down.
3 DUIs on those things now. The account's up to 3.
The one guy tried to run away. He jumped on the scooter and tried to outrace the cops in a patrol car. Unbelievable.
He thought it was going to be like E.T. He's on the bike, so I can get away from the establishment.
40 max MPH, buddy. 40 max. Calm down.
All right. A quick thank you to our guests this week. My brother, Richard Salvatore. Sticking with college. I like it.
I'm sticking with. I mean, that you make money in college. I'm sticking with it. I'm not going to back down. Exactly.
Jim Dodge. He took notes this week. He means business.
Listen, people. Since I started taking notes last time I was on here, I was 2-1. I'm going to go 3-0. So it's a whole new system, a whole new way of gambling. People, jump on board with my picks and everyone else's picks this week.
And a buddy of mine, one of the few Dolphins fans that I'm friends with. I try to stay away from these people, but thanks a lot for coming out, Tom. I hope you're not planning on tanking like your Dolphins. I don't know who you're hoping for to get in the draft next year.
Anybody but Tua.
Anybody.
I don't want to tank for Tua. I like Hurst, but I don't know enough. But thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
Like I told you pre-show, you had me at hot selections. I am a weekly listener.
Apologies to your wife when he goes 3-0, and we'll have to come back again next week.
Let's go. I'm hoping
you can bring
for
the
it.
baby. Bring the baby.
Oh yeah,
we'll watch
you're
it.
gonna need a little AC.
Yeah, perfect. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe. We're on Apple, Android, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also subscribe at our website, picksfromtheyard.com. Visit the website for all of our archived and bonus episodes and more content. For comments, criticisms, and challenges to Wayne, email us at pftypod@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're at PFTYPod on social media. Remember, gambling on sports is entertainment. Please don't overdo it. If you or someone you know is in over their head, call 800-GAMBLER for help. The Picks from the Yard podcast is produced by Van Vorst Films in Hoboken, New Jersey. Our music is Anticipation by the Gefkins. Check them out on Spotify. We'll be back next week. Get involved.